Need reliable electrical solutions you can count on? The UES group of companies has got you covered. From electrical installations and repairs through to all your compliance and tagging requirements, United Electrical and United Essential Solutions are here to help. Whether it's commercial electrical projects or home renovations, United Electrical can help make it happen. Need to secure your investment with an automatic gate? We can be there from the start of manufacturing right through to the final installation. We even offer excavation services to reduce the need to employ multiple trades. Need to get your electrical equipment tagged to meet compliance? Our United Essential Solutions team are here to help. Appliance tagging, emergency lighting, switchboard inspections, building compliance? Look no further than United Essential. UES Group is 100% Australian-owned and operated. We pride ourselves on our customer service and commitment. Visit uestas.com.au or call 1-300-122-598 to learn more. Or find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
The tracks you'd forgotten about are the ones you love.
131 Retro.
These go to 11.
Hello and welcome everyone. We are here in sunny Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the SSRL Appalachian Chillbilly Truck Series round 18 at Las Vegas. Second time of the season we are here. James Bullins won last time we were here. And I do not have my normal co-host up here into the booth because Wesley's off at the real Las Vegas Motor Speedway because he's not a fan of us for some reason. But I do have my man, Sean Signor. That's how you say your last name, right? But I'm not mispronouncing that, am I?
You did pretty good first time out. Pretty close. Signor.
Yeah, I'll take that because usually my pronunciation's not good. Kobe and a lot of the guys in the chat will probably, stumbles. And the chat's already making me laugh. But so, Sean, I'm not sure how familiar you are with this, but this Appalachian Chillbilly Truck Series League, man, they put on a show after show here, and we're in for another great night of racing here at the 1.5 mile. 100 laps of racing, 35 to 40 mile or fuel range with the laps there. 4 sets of tires. You have 1 on the car and then 3 in the pits. So you have a lot of sets of tires in pit road. 3 sets per 100 laps. That's a lot of playing around with you can do on the tires. Not very hot to hot track temp, only 91 degrees. That's not too bad. Partly cloudy, so it looks like a rather tame track temp and pretty grippy racetrack. Things considered.
Yeah, that racetrack, that temperature is actually sitting nice and in a good spot for 3 and 4 wide tonight. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, in the 90s, man, that's like perfect. It's not too cold, not too hot. That is good weather there. But let's get to the keys to this race. Track position is everything, and that's really a theme you see almost every week on keys to the race. Track position is important, and qualifying is how you get it early. So you got to qualify well to keep your track position for tonight. And then we go on to our second key to tonight's race. If you want to take that, Sean?
Yeah, second key tonight, handling the progressive banking. Las Vegas is a track where you can run the bottom, you can run the middle, you can run the top. And choosing which lane at the right time, especially in traffic, will make or break your race.
Without a doubt. And last but certainly not least, probably the most important thing tonight, pit strategy and restarts. You have to, Sean. If you want to win this race, be good on the short run somewhat. Otherwise, you're going to be too buried for that long run. So you can't give up too much on the short run, on restarts especially, and pit strategy. It's so hard here because the tire will fall off in the truck is pretty hard. And you got to wonder if you go long, short, there's a lot of benefits and there's a lot of drawbacks to both. But it's going to be very interesting to see how these drivers and teams react to that come this evening's race in just a few minutes.
Yeah, with 4 sets of tires in the pits, I imagine these guys might be a little aggressive with their pit strategy calls.
Oh, without a doubt. And we go 35 to 40 on fuel. So really, it's a 2-stop race. If we go clean and green, I don't think we've had a race go clean and green from start to finish this year. So we look at the point standings. Michael Tucker still leading it. He's not racing with us every week. So eventually he'll lose that point lead. So really the battle is between Mullins and Holloman. And an 11-point gap between both these guys still. I thought that was last week too. So they are right on top of each other. James Morris a little further back there in third. Got about 50, 60 points actually. He's pretty far back from the top second and third in points sheet there. And then Drew Prohl, solid in 5th place. Westwood, Hemingway, Colton Gardner's 8th. He's had a pretty sneaky good year in 8th. Doesn't get caught up in a lot. Gets solid finishes. That's really what you need here, Sean.
Yeah, 130-point gap out front is what I see. That is a big gap there from Michael Tucker. He must be picking them up and putting them down. James Mullins, though, is that type of driver. Know him very well. He is one to grab a couple wins and close in on that gap. I wonder if tonight he can start that momentum.
Yeah, James has the most wins this season. Michael doesn't. I think he's over the iRating cap, so he doesn't race with us anymore. But yeah, I mean, you're right, Sean. He was pretty dominant. I don't think he finished us at like the top 6 the whole first half of the season. So, I mean, that's pretty good consistency, all things considered. But I think one more thing before we get to our the gridding of the drivers onto the racetrack is we got to make our race picks, Sean. We got to make our picks to win the race here up in the broadcast booth. And I'm going to go with the man we were just talking about, that number 60 car of James Mullins. Now, James is so good on the long run almost everywhere, but here especially when we came here earlier in the springtime, last time we were here, he absolutely dominated this field. I believe he stuck it on the pole, and I know he dominated this race. So watch for that 60 truck tonight. That's the man I have my eye on.
Well, I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage this race. I don't know anybody, so I'm going to be picking that 81 truck. He had a good qualifying run. I like the number 81. I'm going to be going with him.
And Tyler Rouse, a good pick. He is a winner this year. He won at Daytona. And Kobe, what do you got?
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm going to stick with my pick of last week, Daniel Dow. I'm a huge Toyota fan, so I got to stick with the Toyotas. And as far as I can see, he is the highest performing Toyota. So I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I'm giving myself 4. So there we are, Daniel Dow. Back over to you, gentlemen.
Jeez,
yeah, Daniel Dow.
Fan?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing when I heard Kobe say that. But I mean, Daniel Dow is probably the leading Toyota week in and week out. And it just seems like he's knocking on that door. And Kobe, if you keep picking him, he's probably going to break down that door and get into victory lane because he's super fast. Just can't seem to put the race together. Looked like he had it in hand last week until a late caution came out and he had no sets of tires. But yeah, Sean, that is interesting, though. I mean, a Toyota fan? I don't think I've heard anyone say that. And we're going to go quick commercial here. Right before we get to the grid. Back. We took a quick commercial break there for you all, but let's go ahead and get to our starting grid for tonight's racing. Well, my pick is starting where he left off here. James Mullins on the pole, Colton Gardner P2. I think that's the best qualifying effort of the season for Colton Gardner. Tyler Rouse, Sean, there's your pick right there in third. Lilith Peters starts in fourth. Starting back in row 3, Dakota Ramsell and Tyler Cheney, two fast cats there, and that's third row. Back here into the fourth row. We got Christian Strader in 7th and Tommy Lark in 8th in the 04. Back here rounding out the top 10, we have Daniel Dow, that's Kobe's pick, and then Heath Snyder, last week's winner out.
Starting 11th, Joseph DuPont. 12th, James Staples. Adam Pettet is going to be starting in 13th, and Blair Holloman in 14th. Garrett Streets starting 13th in that 68 truck. 15th in that 68 truck, and Hunter Hughes starting 16th. Jordan Saylor starting 17th, and Robert Lewis starting 18th. Garrett Johnston starting in the 19th spot, and Jacob Barker starting in 20th.
And we get back here for the... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bud. I'm sorry.
David Salter going to be starting 21st, and Drew Proles 22nd. Art Nicotera starting in 23rd, and Sean Block is starting in 24th. Noah Walters 25th, and Jeremy Clapper Newell starting in 26th. Brian Alphin starting in the 27th spot, and JP Jones in 28th. Jared Hayes starting 29th, and Andrew Nagy starting 30th. All right, Gage, going to be a good race tonight. On the pace lap now, coming green this time by.
Yeah, without a doubt, Sean, we are in store for one heck of a race tonight. Who rolls the dice right? Here at Vegas, we have a front row of James Mullins, man, who has dominated at the mile and a half this year, and Colton Gardner, kind of a surprise in the 40 truck, up on the front row. But anyone can gamble their life away here in the Sin City, and maybe they can gamble their way in to victory lane tonight. A lot of hungry drivers out here tonight. Who's going to pick up the checkered flag? Well, that's what we're here to find out, Sean. That pace truck's going to pull off to the left side of the racetrack. And we're going to unleash James Mullins, Colton Gardner, Peters, Rouse, Ramsell, and Cheney, and the rest of the drivers here into the restart zone. Green flag is out here at Sin City.
Good start right there out of James Mullins, yeah.
That's a really good launch from James. He's clear up into the race lead. I'm assuming, Kobe, the green ones are the Rams, if I'm not mistaken. I'm assuming those are Rams now because the Rams are now into the iRacing, obviously in the NASCAR Truck Series this year. As we have a battle for the race lead on lap 1. Here's Tyler Rouse to the inside.
It looks like I made a good pick as Tyler goes down to the inside, gets to the bottom, and clears James Mullins off the corner. Now James is going to have to deal with that Dakota Ramsell on the inside, trying to follow that 81 car through.
Yeah, the 60 truck probably just saving a little bit. He did that last year, or early in the year here, Sean. He just kind of played back to 5th or 6th, and then he drove to the front after he got 20 laps on these tires. But, you know, maybe these guys learned a little bit from last time out. Tyler Rouse, your pick, up to the race lead. Mullins on the outside, still side by side with that 03 truck.
03 was right on his left rear going down into the corner. James moved up the track a little bit. Wonder how comfortable maybe James is running side by side with that 03. He is not going anywhere there. Some contact going into the corner between the two. Hard racing right now for second. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought James Mullins might have been laying back, maybe saving some tire. I don't see any tire saving. Running that top lane's not good for the tire most of the time. And he is working it on that top lane, trying to get around the 03. Just can't quite do so.
Got some help coming behind him, though, from that 07. It's going to be Christian Strader trying to get tucked up behind that 60 car. Yeah, there's some more contact at the same time there going into turn 1. Seems to be a point of confliction right there.
I think Mullins just kind of pinches the corner off a little bit different than Dakota Ramsdell would like. I don't know if they make heavy contact at all, but it's definitely a little bit of contact entering the corner. And Mullins might have a run off this corner to clear the 03. But, I mean, the 03 has that draft off Tyler Rouse. Not quite clear. They're 3 wide back here with Willard Peters.
Yeah, 3 straight laps side by side. Definitely not good for the tires. More contact between the two, but the 3 wide action right here. Some contact in between the 2 trucks on the bottom. They're going to sort it out and live for another day.
Yeah, Adam Patek got up into Tyler Cheney, and then Lilith Peters all the way on the 3rd lane. She squeaked on by all that. Look at the back bumper here. I'm not quite sure who we're on right. I think it's Colton Gardner's back bumper. So we're looking at Tyler Cheney and Lilith Peters side by side back here, 8th and 9th on the scoring pylon. A lot of Toyotas in the top 10. See the 4 Toyotas, 3rd to 6th, and another an 8th. So Toyotas dominating the top 10, but a Ford of Tyler Rouse is leading, and a Chevy of James Mullins in 2nd. And speaking of Mullins, clearing a P2. 5 laps later.
Finally over, yeah. He worked for it. Now he's going to get to that back bumper of the 81 fairly quickly. I wonder if James is going to be feeling the effects on that tire as he gets a little tight as the 81 gets loose. And here comes Dakota right back down to the inside yet again.
Yeah, taking advantage of all that hard work of 5 laps is right back to the start of it all. And Tyler Rouse is loving the view out in his rearview mirror as these two fight. Look at the 07 of Strader looking 3 wide, maybe. Yeah, here he comes. Try to peek his nose in there. I don't think he's quite there entering the corner. He's going to back out.
And here comes that 2 truck with Daniel Dow. Yeah, he's up here already. Started in 10th spot. Going to put his nose in the middle, 3 wide. Very, very tight going down the front stretch there. Man, you said it before the start of this race, Gage. These guys definitely are putting on a show right now.
Yeah, they do not hold back. Lap 1, lap 100. It does not matter for these guys. They just go all out immediately. Daniel Dow up to 4th. He'll clear the 07. He'll now push the 03 of Ramsdell. He'll continue to work that middle, try to find the clean air. Yeah, he's doing a good job of it. But you got to be careful there. Don't make contact. Sometimes just guys don't know where you're at when you're in that middle lane searching, so you got to be careful. You get a very good view of the axle there. Right up and personal with Tyler Rouse. 9 laps in, continuing to lead this race, set the pace.
Caution on the speedway right now.
Oh, caution. Yeah, caution is out. I don't see anything.
Stop in turns 1 and 2.
99.
Yeah,
Andrew
99 right there.
And Jeremy Noel as well in the 7. And that's 29th and 30th on the pylon now. But I'm not sure where they were battling beforehand. Pretty deep in the field.
Here's there were 3 wide actually right there.
Right out in the middle.
83 in the middle, yeah.
So let's see what happens.
Contact on the bottom, yeah. Gonna bring up, and Jeremy's gonna be a victim of that deal right there.
Yeah, I think
contact between the 2 trucks on the bottom.
I think that's what I saw there, Sean. I think the 99 came up, but it's hard to tell.
It's just a bad spot right there to be 3 wide. It's with 1 truck coming down off the apron. The 99's down there on the apron, just tries to come back up onto the racetrack, and that 83 just happened to be there, and that small little bit of contact brought them both up into the path of the 7.
Yeah, I mean, he comes up. I mean, the 83 is also not giving him a ton of room. That's just a racing incident, I think.
Most definitely.
And nothing at fault there. I don't think they're really trying to do that to each other. Just wrong place, wrong time, but this does open the door for some strategy. I mean, you're obviously not going to be...
definitely.
I mean, 10 laps running hard, though. We saw James Mullins and Dakota Ramsdell going at it. So, I mean, you have 3 sets.
4 sets in the pits, yeah. They actually... Oh, is it 3 sets in the pits or 4 including what they have on
including
now.
the one you start on, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it is. Either way, 3 or 4. That's a lot of sets in the pits for a 100-lap race. I think it's 3
Not
though. I
many
think that's
takers
why.
though. A couple trucks towards the back of the pack, about 20th position on back, going to be coming on. And I think the first truck on pit row was 9th place, Lilith Peters.
Gardner too, front row starter.
I'd say it's a good call right now, especially with these tires getting pretty used up. We saw some hard racing there in that first 10 laps. And if we were to go 30, 40 laps from this point forward, these guys would all find themselves up front.
I don't mind this call. I don't mind coming down here and just splashing it full of fuel too. I don't mind that. I think that's what Lilith Peters did there. I don't think she put tires on it. I don't think any of them actually put tires on it. They really weren't on pit road long enough to put four fresh Goodyears on. So I think all of them took fuel only. I don't really know, but I'm pretty sure they all took fuel only. But I don't disagree with you, Sean, that if it goes green, though, I mean, yeah, the fresh tires are definitely the right call. 10 laps of hard racing, that's definitely warranting of taking fresh tires. But we saw last week Daniel Dow and Kyle Westwood, they took those tires early and didn't have any left. And they were leading 1 and 2, and they ended up not winning the race because they didn't have any sets left in the pits. So using tire sets up early is a risky business. It's really risky early on in the race. You just don't know what's going to happen.
You need to go green, and right now with the way these guys are racing, all up close, 3-4 wide, maybe if you were back there in that pack, you don't think it might go green 30 and 40 laps. So maybe just almost a decision made off of the history of being in this league so long.
Yeah, I mean, last time we were here, I think we had a lot of green flag running. I think we had green flag pit stops. So I think this track has at least in this league and this year, has a history of running green. And the mile and a halves this year have really tended to run green. These more of the short tracks or the bigger 2-mile ovals where we've had a lot of yellows. These tracks have been more the tamer tracks. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still pretty intense out there, Sean. They are racing really hard, and we saw 3 wide racing, and we saw door-to-door for like 6 laps straight with the 03 and the 60 truck. But either way, we're going to get back racing here. We're going to go with 88 laps to go in this race. So basically just cut the race to 88 laps, not 100.
And these guys are starting to slip and slide just a little bit right before the caution came out. We saw it right there in that green flag racing. So be interesting to see the grip level once these guys get up to speed. And if that 60 truck and the 2 trucks starting next to them still have that speed to get around the 81 and the 03 up front.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, James so Andrew Nagy gets an EOL, I'm assuming, for that incident. I don't know if I personally agree. I think that's just a racing deal, but either way, EOL for the 99 of Andrew Nagy into the longest line. So, I mean,
probably both deserved an EOL.
Yeah, they probably both did. Both of them probably could have given a bit more room, but that is just part of it. Control teams, the 99 should have given a bit more room. Either way, Tyler Rouse, the race leader, started this race third, jumped right to the race lead. He's going to lead us into the restart zone here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Green flag back out in the air, and a good launch from that 81.
Even better launch, though, for James Mullins on the inside line. He's going to get side by side with that 03 truck yet again, but this time he's the one on the bottom. And getting up through the gears, he's going to get the job done and get comfortably in second.
Yeah, he's all clear, and that's a good push from Daniel Dow. That helped that clear. They're all trying to get by that 03. No one's helping each other. When you're early on in the run here on the restart, that momentum's important, and the 60 had a look entering turn 3 on the 81. Didn't quite have the momentum to get there, and look here, that 03 of Ramsell right back to the right rear quarter panel of the 60 of Mullins.
He didn't need any help right there going through turns 3 and 4. Just went around the outside, got that big run off the corner, and he's going for the lead to the outside of that 81.
And Ramsell, big run. Rouse, big loose on the inside. Dakota Ramsell, not quite clear. He's clear. The new race leader in turn 3.
Mullins going to take advantage of that and get to the outside of the 81 with some help from the 29 truck. That 2 truck of Daniel Dow is going to try to get some track position here and maybe keep that 29 from getting to his outside, as they are 3 wide. Going down into turn 1, some hard racing back here in the back half of the top 10.
Yeah, DuPont, Patet, Cheney, they're all racing real hard. I think we've seen Patet and Cheney right on each other this whole race so far. The first 15 laps as we have a battle for the lead again. Mullins looking to the outside of that 03 truck that he's got to be tired of. And Daniel Dow's going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're tired of each other. And I'd say with all their hard racing, the 2 truck might be in the best spot here with his fresher tires, just because he wasn't using them as hard as these 2 were up front. but he's also coming up through the field. His tires might not be in as good shape as I think they are.
Yeah, he came up from a little further back, still started in the top 10 around there. He started 9th, so he hasn't really come too far, but you're right. I mean, he did start a little further back. I think he had some good restarts, though, and if you have good restarts, you don't use as much tire up as you just passing people when they're strung out. And we haven't seen this 60 truck be able to really make moves in this outside lane very much, or he's just, I don't know if he's conserving. It's just very weird. No one's really been able to separate from each other here. It's a little odd.
Feels like it's Atlanta or something with these trucks running in the lines that they are. It's like restrictor plate racing almost. Got to get the big run from behind. Clear them when you can. Yeah, that was a risky move right there. So early in the race, that 2 truck coming up in front of the 29, trying to get to that top line, shows you how important these drivers think it is right now at the moment.
Yeah, and Heath Snyder probably not going to be too happy about that last week's winner out at Auto Club Motor Speedway, or Auto Club Speedway. Oh, excuse me. Whoa, 07 in the wall. No harm there, but we're coming up on a lap truck. It's a little inviting in turn 1 how wide the entry is. As we have a new battle for the race lead up there, Ramsell and Mullins yet again battling it out.
Yeah, Mullins to the inside of that 03. We saw it earlier on, Gage. These guys were able to keep it side by side for multiple laps. I think we're going in for another one right now, another elongated battle. But that 2 truck sitting pretty right behind them.
Now watch this 2 truck try to build a run. These 2 stall out side by side, and there's a lap truck of Andrew Nagy. Whoa, slide job! Look at the crossover from the 03.
Oh, that 60 was dead sideways coming off the corner there with that air being moved along his back bumper. Opens the door yet again for Dakota to go down to the inside. And I think these guys are going to be swapping it back and forth, and they don't seem to be maybe too pleased with each other.
Oh, back to the bottom now under the apron goes the 60 and Mullins. I think you're right. They are not happy with each other, or they're just having too much fun racing. Is this Daniel Dow machine's right there with him? Is the 60 clear? He's clear again, but does he get the crossover? Not that time. Dow looking inside, trying to get P2. Whoa, 03 got stepped out a little bit there on corner entrance.
This lap truck, a couple cars in front of the leaders right now. Andrew Nagy was involved in that last caution. He's doing a pretty decent job staying in front of that pack right now. But eventually he is going to get caught, and it might be a little bit of an opportunity for some of these guys to get a quick couple positions.
Oh, without a doubt, when the truck, especially if he runs the bottom, it's going to be a little bit of pandemonium. Everyone's going to try to avoid him. And you'd think he'd have a little bit more damage than he does after pretty hard contact to the outside wall in that other truck that was with him with Jeremy Noel.
All 3 of them are actually pretty clean at the moment. They actually got away with that pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a little shocked about that because they were going pretty fast. That's the end of the front straightaway. That's a pretty quick part of the racetrack. As Daniel Dow looking for P2. James Mullins clear into the race lead now. So the pole sitter back to the lead. Took him 22 laps, but he is finally back leading. And that 2 truck that Kobe picked for the race win, one of them Toyotas, really good right now.
Looks like Dakota might be paying the price for using up those tires earlier, trying to get around the 60. So right now he seems to be on defense mode. Kind of throwing a little bit of a block there on the 29. Yeah, some more contact in the back. We are 3 wide again. Contact right there.
We're wrecking hard
in the wall. He's not going to be the only one.
Oh, that's hard contact.
On the front straightaway there.
That's a break for Andrew Nagy, not a break for these guys. He got the 07 of Strader got hooked into the outside wall. I think DuPont came in, nothing he could do. Strader just flung across the racetrack. Yeah. The 81, I don't know if he thinks he's 3 there or what. He just door bangs a 68. I think he also might have got a push from the 54. Right, yeah, that car is killed. He can't steer it even at all. The steering's probably broken in the steering column. And man, DuPont, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, the
good job here from that black truck there to get by that.
Great job right there. Tyler Rouse I guess he might not have known they were 3 wide. He kind of turned down to try to get some draft and get some position into the corner and just bang doors with that 68. And that 07 is the real victim of it all, including this guy right here, DuPont.
Yeah, he's destroyed. Did Tyler Chaney get into the back of him, Kobe? I don't know if he did or not. I know Rouse hit the wall off forward, but I don't know if he got into him there. That's what might have upset that truck and sent him to the left, because that just seemed really out of character a little bit. That was a little odd, and he might just not have known they were 3 wide.
Yeah, I don't see any contact between the two on my end, but the 81 car just maybe a little bit over aggressive trying to get that draft, and thinking about the race as it's going on. Maybe there is. I don't believe so. I didn't see any on my end, but definitely
might be Netco too. It's
definitely
tight.
some Las Vegas front stretch typical stuff right here, you know.
Yeah, that just gets tight there. Everyone was really tight too. No one gave each other room at all. Like the bottom guy didn't give the middle guy room, and neither did Tyler Rouse. Yeah, Streets was just the meat in the sandwich there. He gave everyone else room. No one else gave him room.
Yeah.
We're going to be a busy pit road here, Sean. We're going to get everyone on pit road. Obviously, those 2 trucks that were killed are definitely on pit road. They're probably done for the day with meatballs. So 2 really fast trucks out early.
Yeah, 2 of the top 10 trucks done for the night. Might be a little bit of an opportunity for somebody that could gain some points on those guys depending on where they are in the standings. As we see some strategy here, some 2 tire takers going to be coming off of pit road here. Oh, they also got some guys who didn't pit at all, including the 7, Jeremy Clapper duel.
Yeah, I don't mind that from Jeremy. I mean, he was in the incident. Why not? He doesn't really have that much on his tires, all that much. If he did pit, I'm assuming he took tires because he did spin out. Salter stayed out as well, so you have 2 trucks who stayed out. I mean, they might come down pit road before we get the one to green. So we'll see if they do stay out or not. I'm assuming they will. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Jeremy's in it to win it.
He's in it to win it. I mean, it would be quite a story if he was able to win tonight after, let's just say, a rocky start to the evening, being involved in that wreck on the front straightaway entering turn 1. But David Salter, I mean, he's having a pretty good night tonight, up to P2. Quiet night.
Anything I know about Jeremy, he is one to persevere. He gets a lot of rocky starts, and he's able to come back for them and get good finishes most of the time. So I look forward to seeing how the 7 car can rebound from his incident earlier in the race, and he might be one to be a little bit of a sleeper pick for a top 10, especially on this offset strategy.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, he's definitely going to be slower than the fresh tires, but that 2-tire call from Wentzel, I don't understand that. So early in the race to do 2 tires.
He was already struggling on his tires before the yellow, too.
Yeah, it's something I don't quite understand. This isn't the next
already
gen.
up front. Yeah, he was already up front, so he wasn't losing much by taking the 4 tires.
Yeah, I mean, he starts 4th probably, maybe 5th if he loses position on Daniel Dow. Maybe 6th if he was running. I think he might have been behind Daniel Dow, so at worst 6th on 4 fresh tires. I mean, we'll see how it works out for the 03 truck. But
just to take 2 tires just to get around the 60 and the 2 might not be the wisest move because they're going to be blowing right by him.
Yeah, and you don't know how your truck's going to react unless you've tried this out, right? Maybe he's tried this out, though, Sean, and it drives better with 2 tires, so you never really know. Sometimes
and maybe he just knows more than us, yeah. Maybe he paid Chad Canals to sit on the box tonight.
I mean, I would pay Chad Canals to sit on the as well. Sit on the box
on a phone call.
It would not hurt my feeling to have those boys up and helping me out on the racetrack and getting my truck set up. But either way, back to green flag running, and Jeremy Noel, he'll lead the field back to green. And a good launch for the 7 truck.
Yeah, good launch for the 7. It's what he needed to do on those older tires. Ooh, how is the grip level going down to the corner, especially if you are David Salter on the outside? You see the older tires right there suffering as Dakota Ramsell's going to have a back bumper of the 2 truck. Got a car driving on the apron there. Going to be coming back up the track. Kept it together right there. Can't see who that is.
Blair Holloman, I think. Yeah, Blair Holloman.
Oh, Jeremy sideways off the corner. Down on the apron. Almost got spun back up on the track. A great save for that
right
7.
In front of everyone.
Right in front of everyone.
Yeah, wide back there.
Big
whoa, that's tight. Sorry, I thought the 96 was going to hook the 2 into the 60, but they are 3 wide everywhere. Old tires in the 26. Whoa, and there's their contact. The 26 around on the back straightaway. Caution out.
Yeah, they're going to be a couple more trucks involved right here. Boom.
Oh, Nagy.
99 Nagy. Just getting into that inside wall. It's a bad angle, as you know, Gage. People hit that inside wall, they're going to be coming back up.
Jeff Gordon, I think in 08 or whatever, that terrible crash he had. But, yeah, you just knew that was coming. The Streets gets into the 28. The Streets gets away with it. The 66 of Johnson does not get away with it. That truck is killed. So is the 28.
It started coming off of turn 2. The 20 David Salter actually got loose and came down about a lane and a half into the 68. It's 2 cautions in the road. The 68's been the meat and the sandwich. And the 66, the big victim of that deal, including the 99 of Andrew Nagy.
I mean, you know, when you have guys,
that 28 car.
When you have guys out there on old tires, you know that's going to happen. I mean, that's the risk you take not only as a fresh tire car. You got to be careful working around the faster. You have to be careful. You're much quicker than those guys, especially if that truck's not handling good anyways. And the 26 was not up front when he, stayed out. The 7 obviously almost wrecked 2 off 4, so they were grip, they were lacking grip, and that's something where you're a fresh tire car, you got to be wary of that. But I think the door kind of just closed on the 68, and contact kind of got made off of 2 in the 66. I mean, Johnston did nothing wrong. He just got clobbered into the inside wall. Same with Nagy.
Yeah, nowhere for him to go, yeah.
Nagy's thinking it's all good, and they're all in the infield, and here they come flying back up the track. They hit the wall so hard, I don't think they really could stop it.
And just one of those incidents here with the pit strategy playing a part in that wreck. I bet you that 28 wishes he took those 4 fresh tires now.
Yeah, he probably does. But I think this works out for Dakota Ramsell. This will help him in that 2-tire stop. Just extend the caution, extend this run as long as possible.
Also kind of even out the tires, too.
Yeah. It's that heat cycle. Those are important in the trucks. Not as important as some other cars, but the heat cycle is really important. He's still going to be at a disadvantage too with those lefts being as worn, but we'll help him for sure with the cycle here. And it's going to take out a few more good trucks with the 66, and Nagy's going to be killed now, most likely, or have more damage. Salter is most likely destroyed, and I think we're going to have 24 trucks left if those 3 guys are done for the night.
Well, you saw at the corner before, coming off of turn 4 with that 7 truck getting loose on the bottom by himself, and he was the leader. He had all the clean air in the world hitting that nose, and those tires kind of bit him coming off the corner, and he just stepped out and about wrecked it in front of the field off of turn 4. And then coming off of turn 2, you saw the same thing out of the 28 car, also on old tires, and then just ended up not going as well, and it caused the 66 his race tonight.
Well, here's another thing, Sean. I mean, the 7's not been in clean air all night, right? Like, he's not been in that perfectly good clean air up front. He probably knows what his truck will do. He probably practiced a lot for this, or, I mean, maybe he didn't. But, I mean, he doesn't know what that truck is going to do as well as he would in traffic, and it probably just caught him off guard how much the truck turned for him. When you're up front in clean air, it's just a completely different feel when you're in that top 3 or 4 compared to back there in the Hornet's nest, because there's dirty air everywhere, pretty much 5th on back. I mean, even in the trucks where the dirty air is not as bad as maybe the Cup car, or I think the B car now of the Xfinity car is actually pretty bad now after the update. So I don't know though, but I mean, dirty air is a big deal once you're back out of the top 5.
Just from the mental aspect of it too, he's probably looking in his mirror going through turns 3 and 4. Just seeing those leaders bearing down on him, it's very easy just to lose track where you are and maybe just get a little too much throttle and get loose.
100%. But we're going to go back green here tonight. We're going to go green with, I believe, 69 laps to go. So, pretty short race distance now if we go green to the end. We will have to make a pit stop before the night is over. Probably, if you really do it right, you'd probably come 30 laps from now and pit on lap 60 or so to split it. But if you're worried of a caution, you probably go another 10 laps longer and hope to get that caution flag. But Dakota Ramsell is going to be in the restart zone. He's going to lead us to green. And we're back green. A good start again in the bottom lane.
Yeah, good start right there out of Dakota Ramsell. Just like Jeremy, that's what he needed to get a little bit of space on these guys as they come up to speed. And that might allow that 2 truck to get a run here down that back straightaway. Get a little draft going. Has a push coming from behind. It's going to be a contested position going down into turn 3.
Yeah, Tyler Cheney gave him a big shove entering the corner. I think he wanted to take it 3 wide, but Daniel Dow said none of that. And Daniel Dow looks to the outside for the clean air and trying to get the race lead. And if you're these guys on the 4 tires, you want to get by him quick. You want to be the first guy to get by him.
And you definitely want to get by him as quick as you can, because once that light switch turns on and he starts suffering bad for the tires, you do not want to be behind that 93 truck. But he's doing a great job right now on those 2 tires, maintaining that track position and kind of proving us wrong, Gage. He's really probably heard us say that it might not work out as well. He's proving that it is working out for him at the moment.
Yeah, it's working out all good and dandy right now. That 2 truck in the 54 almost made contact off 4, but big run down this front straightaway. The draft's going to come from all these cars behind him. Those Toyotas linked up 1, 2, 3. No moves really made there entering turn 1. Oh, he's going to get him off 2 here. He's going to work under him. Pressure tire. There you go.
It's able to get back in that gas that split second earlier and get to the bottom of the 03. Gonna get the job done. Almost maybe going down the corner. Lap truck in front of him made him change the lane.
Racetrack. Whoa!
He's gonna be spinning on the pit road. And now we got 3 wide for the lead. Here comes that 54, Tyler Cheney. Cheney getting a little loose on the bottom, hit that apron. Gonna come up in front of Dakota Ramsell. Gonna get the push as they are starting to spread out all through the field. Couple trucks in the wall in the back. Man, we got ourselves a hell of a race up here at the front. Jared Hayes in the 69 working to the outside of the 2. And then we said it, James, Gage, you want to get around that 03 truck, and the 54 is the first one to do it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my headset died right as all that happened. But yeah, Tyler Cheney took advantage of the chaos there. I was kind of panicking myself, trying to find the charge cord for it. But, whoa, Daniel down to the inside. He wants the race lead now.
Looking like a plate race here. Yeah, going down to the inside. Here comes that 69 through the middle, 3 wide again, coming off of turn 4. The 60 of Mullins was able to clear, but they are still banging doors. The 69, the 29, and Heath Snyder on the bottom. Going to get really tight as you see the light switch is probably switched over on that 03 truck. Dakota Ramsell starting to feel the pain of that 2 tires.
And he's lost the clean air, so it's even worse when you get back here the 8th and 10th range. Your car just drives way worse on the 2 tires than it does up front. As a battle for the lead, Daniel Dow looking on the bottom lane, trying to clear this 54, but man, Cheney is fighting hard.
Definitely easy to get that run coming off the corner from that top side. So hard to get it done, 3 and 4 on the bottom. But down here in 1 and 2, get it done on the first half of the corner. Just doesn't have enough speed difference to get it clear off the corner, and they are dead heat side by side down these straightaways.
And all those trucks are dancing in the corner, entering, exiting, middle of the corner. It don't matter. They're just all over the place on this racetrack. And you're right, it is like Atlanta levels of how close everyone is here. Whoa, contact!
Big contact.
Look at
Mullins almost had a shot. Yeah, here comes also Heath in that 29 car. Heath Snyder getting to the back bumper of the 2, giving him a little bit of a push. Don't know if Daniel wants it or not, but he's going to get it either way going down into turn 1.
And this is just so insane how close they are. 3 wide further back again. I think the leader's in the top lane. Is that maybe a product, though, Sean, of the cold temperatures on the racetrack? Remember, only 91 degrees for track temp.
I'd say it's a little bit of a product of those temps like we were talking about.
Whoa, crashing
earlier.
again. Tommy Lark, back of the pack. Big wreck. Front straightaway, Ramsell involved. Oh, no. Good trucks involved, Dakota Ramsell. That's the risk for taking 2 tires so early. Don't work out for you. Tommy Lark got hooked on the straightaway. I saw that orange Clemson truck turned around pretty early, Sean. Let's see what happened. They're 3 wide.
Trucks here on the straightaway.
Maybe 4 wide?
I think it started right here with the 03 coming through the dog leg right there. Contact from that Clemson truck on the bottom. The 04 into the left rear of the 03 is going to send him spinning, and it might have even been contact coming from behind.
Yeah, I think Prohl hooked the 04. Whoa, JP Jones in that Ram. I don't know how he avoided that in that 21, but wow, what a drive there. But yeah, I think Prohl got into the back bumper or quarter of Tommy Lark and hooked him around. I think that's what happened. I have to take another look at it because I think Prohl gets up to a big run. Obviously, the 03 is pretty slow.
Also started too with that 01 truck here on the top. Looks like the 01 truck comes down, makes contact with Prohl right there, and then that sets it off.
That's a big wreck too. Look at JP Jones does a great job of putting that in that green neon truck, and Tommy Lark's wrecked, and he's probably not very happy. We've seen a lot of incidents on the front stretch today, like a lot. more than usual.
The problem point here at Vegas. When you were talking about how close everybody is running, that's just a product of that. When the racetrack and the racing looks like Atlanta and Daytona, the wrecks are going to be similar to the ones at Atlanta and Daytona. And there have been some, pretty big incidents. A couple big incidents so far tonight, but maybe not as big as they could have been.
Yeah, I mean, that took out a lot of good trucks, though. The 03, I think, in particular, is maybe wishing he didn't take 2 tires there. I mean, it's just such an interesting call on lap 40-something of the race, or 30-something on the race when he made the pit stop.
4 laps to go, it might have worked out for him, but at this point, you definitely want to have those tires in case it goes green. Not saying that, we're looking like we're going to go green, especially with this crazy racing that we're having, but you always want that in the back pocket just for the potential of it always going green, no matter what race you're in.
Yeah, you just kind of always want that set in the pits. It's just better, right? I mean, later in the race is when the points are paid, right? That's when the money's given to you. So I'd rather have a set laying in the pits. But you also don't want to just have a set laying in the pits and you never use them right when you could have taken advantage of them. So there's double-edged swords to that, right? I mean,
that's part of the strategy there. Yeah, we saw the strategy play out right there on that last caution. We had the 7, the 28, and I believe Hunter. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm saying Hunter, but Dakota, all taking, a different strategy than the leaders. 2 trucks stayed out, and all 3 of them paid for it in the long run. We saw Jeremy and the 28 pay for it almost instantly, and then there goes the 03 paying the price for that strategy.
Yeah, I mean that's why I think what we've learned, Sean, is 2 tires work. That is racing. That's for sure racing, especially in NASCAR racing. Like that's oval racing, tire strategy like that. It's a lot more close quarters than that road course racing. So, stuff like this can happen more. You can fall deeper in the field way quicker on ovals than you can in, the road or even dirt side of these things.
Yeah, most definitely can happen no matter how good you are. But I think what we were both alluding to, you said we're good. One thing to learn from tonight, I think the thing to learn is do what the 60 car does, because he knows what he's doing.
Oh, and we're doing reports. Yeah, it wasn't a strategy call. It was a glitch on Dakota Wentzel. So that's what chat's saying. So that is unfortunate, Dakota. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he got forced into the strategy call. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something you don't like when you didn't even want that to happen. Usually
that's just Chad Knaus on the box. It's what it is. We talked about it last caution. He just knows it. Yeah.
That's an Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I'm a top-level crew chief, but I don't know what I'm doing half the time.
It took a couple days off of Casey Kane, ruining Casey Kane's career to mess up that 03 truck tonight.
Yeah, Keith Rodden shouldn't be near a Cup car ever again. He's terrible. I don't know why he gets anyone to crew chief for in the Cup Series, but nonetheless, enough of the Keith Rodden hate. Either way, Tyler Cheney, Daniel Dow, Cup of Toyota's leading us back to green. And it just seems like that bottom just launches way better. Not as organized this time, though. Well, and as they were organized, Heath Snyder dumps to the bottom lane and leaves Daniel Dow out to dry.
That 2 truck will be out there shortly, though. He's got some speed. He's been able to maintain that top 5 spot since he got up there. I think he is probably the best truck besides that 60. If the 60 is going to take home the checkers tonight, he's going to have to deal with that too.
Here comes Heath Snyder. First time we've seen him up inside the top 3. He's been inside the top 5 a lot tonight.
And going for the lead here. Big run.
And a huge run to the quarter panel. Right rear. Entering turn 1. He can get the momentum here and clear for the lead. Take control of this thing. He's going to do it. Wow. Power move. Clear.
Yeah, statement move right there to get around that 54. He's going to bring the 2 of Daniel Dow to the outside with him. And behind Daniels, that I believe that's the 18. Hunter Hughes, first time we've seen him up here tonight. He's up 11 spots from where he started, so a pretty good race so far out of that 18 truck, dealing with that traffic and getting around those wrecks.
Yeah, that's what talking about the attrition we've had 40 laps into this race took out. I mean, there really hasn't been too many yellows, but they've been big yellows, taking out a lot of good race cars and fast cars.
Oh, there's another one right there. We just talked about him.
We just talked about him. Big wreck in the backstretch. We're not done. JP Jones in the wall hard. Caution out now. A little late on the caution flag. Jared Hayes involved. Streets again. Oh my God. Yeah, I think James Mullins came up off the bottom, got into him, and we have a lot of meatballs. Yeah, James Mullins. Wow, that was bad.
Yeah, really tight from the center off of the corner. Walked up a whole lane and a half, got into that 18. That is a big wreck behind him. We were just talking about the 18 gauge, and we were just talking about James.
Yeah, that's a really big moment from James. Like, I don't know what happened there. It's just a really odd spot in the corner.
Just that dirt in the air. Got back in that gas and didn't get out of it. And walked up the track a little bit, got into that 18.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, that was wall hits, dude. Not looking good.
Man, that's a lot of trucks. JP Jones did not avoid that one. Robert Lewis, a good amount of front end damage actually in that 14. Garrett Street
finally beat up from one. That's the third caution in a row he's been a victim of.
Wow,
I think it finally got to him there.
Huge. We've had 5 cautions tonight, so we've had averaged a caution every 13. No, 5 cautions for 13 laps. Excuse me. We're under 10 laps every caution, so we're not great on the caution counters. Whoa, cars pitting here. I think that's to get maybe closer on fuel. Maybe thinking we're gonna get more yellows. I don't think they're gonna take tires.
But the fuel range is 40 laps, like we saw earlier. We're right on the edge of that 40 laps. These guys would only need 1 caution to really be comfortable enough to make it clearly. And most of the field's going to be coming down. I wonder if any of these guys do possibly take tires.
Oh, yep, Daniel Dowd taking tires. Tyler Cheney taking tires. That means there's 1 set left, because, I got confirmation that there's only 3 sets in the pit. So this is their 2nd set. We're only 48 laps in. Yeah, James Mullins doesn't use that set, but those 2 Toyotas 50
laps to go. You can come down, take tires with 25 to go, I guess is what they're thinking. It's about 25 laps from the last caution, from when these guys pitted. So, 25 laps on the tires. Yeah, I kind of see why some of these guys did take the tires, but and they're going to be ones to watch here on this restart. This is going to be a show just like all the others.
Those green, they're going to win. There's just nothing to say about the 2 and the 54 are going to win, or someone else.
That's a big if right now. We've seen 5 cautions in the first half of this race. I think we're setting up for 5 more, because this racing's tight no matter how many trucks are out there.
But we're running out of trucks, Sean. We're running out of trucks. We have under 20 on the lead lap, and we're running out of trucks running here. So eventually the dam's got to break, and we're going to get some green flag running. I mean, last week at Auto Club, we had a lot of early yellows. Then we had a long green flag run where that strategy to save a set almost didn't pay off until 4 to go, and we got a late yellow. So, I mean, it could be where the strategy actually does pay off and saving that set does not work tonight. Either way, Heath Snyder's going to inherit the lead. Blair Holloman, Colton Gardner's back up here. Jordan Sailors, who's been close or involved in a lot of wrecks. I don't think we're going green here, actually. The pace lights are not off on that truck. I'm sorry. But either way, Jordan Sailor's in 4th. Ramsel back in 5th. Wow. I mean, the damage must not be too bad. Peters, Barker, Prohl. Prohl was in a wreck not too long ago. Cheney, Walters. So, it's really shaking up the grid.
The first truck that came down on the last caution is going to be the 88. I imagine he did not take tires on that car. Not sure how far back the leaders have fallen. I think Cheney was one of those guys that was up front. He's going to be restarting, I believe, right there in the 8th spot. Kind of interesting to see. I don't see this 2 truck up here at all.
13th, yeah. But you see the 60 truck of Mullins might have a penalty for that contact. That took out a lot of trucks. So race control might have something to say about that. They gave him the penalty,
yeah. So Mullins is going to be restarting EOL. Still plenty of time for him to get up there, especially with as fast as he is. It's going to be a little harder from this point on for him.
Yeah, and I think that's the right call. Whoa, we're getting single file restart here. So I was right. The pace lights are off. We're going to get single file here. Green flag restart, single file here at Vegas. They're stacking up back there. We're not used to this.
Yeah, it's not often you see the single file move get pulled out, but here we go. Going to help these guys get a little more strung out and keep them from being all over each other, but I can only imagine about 3 or 4 laps we're going to be seeing that same racing we did. But this might be something that those guys that stayed out and the guys that didn't get tires wanted to see, just a little bit extra space before they're caught by those fresh tires.
They're loving it. They're loving it. They're hoping we get 10, 15 laps and then we get a yellow again. That would be perfect for them. And Cheney on those 4 tires looking 3 wide. 54 truck's trying to keep his truck clean, though. We haven't seen a lot of guys do that. Keep the truck clean while you're making your way through the field. Whoa, it's tied off too there. I had another wreck. Sailor's cleared in front of Peters, and he was not clear. Peters, I think, cut him a break.
Some hard racing here. A little bit past halfway. We've seen that 88. I believe that is the Drew Prohl there in the 80. Not giving each other too much room coming off of turn 2. This is one of those spots here at Vegas where they tend to close in on each other. And right now, Blair Holloman pushing that 29 truck up front, trying to work together here, keep themselves up front.
I'm both trying to get through the front. I think that's Patet looking on the inside there of Colton Gardner to move up to 4th. Oh no, that's Cheney looking up to the inside of Colton Gardner. Patet's right behind Prohl there, who's going to get by the 88 of Sailors, who's dropping back actually with Peters now. Lilith Peters now to the inside, looking for 8th on him as she moves up a spot. This is a little bit more calmer than we're kind of used to tonight. It's been a little calm as here we go. Battle for the race lead. Holloman's done pushing. He wants to go lead this race now. Well, I guess not. Oh, there he goes.
We were talking about it possibly going green, but it's looking good right now as Blair Holloman gets to the inside of the 29. They're going to be side by side. I don't think we've had a Ram lead tonight in their first race in the league. At 32's trying to get up front, be the first one to do it. Still side by side through turns 1 and 2, and here comes that 03 and 54 with the fresh tires behind them.
Oh, that was tight. 54 Cheney was tight off before, and I think we had one Ram lead, and that was the 7 of Jeremy Noel. So staying out, he led a few laps, but aside from that, no Ram off speed has been up here tonight. Is that Kelly Blue Book 54 Toyota?
Ooh,
oh, rammed the wall.
Yep, into that
big
outside
checkup.
wall. That's not going to help that truck. That was a pretty big hit. And here comes that 54 to the outside of the 29 for the lead.
Looking for the lead, Heath Snyder. I mean, so what, these guys up front who did stay out, they do need a caution, though. They do need one eventually. They just don't want to be part of the caution. They want to probably go a few more laps to have a bit fresher tires, but they do need a caution here, Sean. Otherwise, if it goes green, they're not in a good spot.
No, definitely not in a good spot, but it also makes me wonder if it does go green here to the end, how that fuel is going to play a part and how close some of these guys might be on that fuel number. It might be why this 54 might be content with following the 29 for right now, trying to save some gas. Because he just, in my math, tells me they're going to be about a lap or two short.
I don't think anyone can make it. I mean, we came down pit road with, I think, lap 50 or so. A little past halfway. It's 40 laps.
That's right, it's 40 laps, not 50. Yeah, duh.
Yeah, so
my math is bad.
So maybe 11 laps short. I think everyone has to stop here again, but the time lost with fresh tires here. Because once Cheney gets lead here as he's looking to the inside here to clear him, not quite. Snyder is putting up a fight on the outside. Once he loses that clean air, though, that truck will not handle as good.
Done a great job so far, keeping that 54 behind him for about 3-4 laps since he got caught. But now it's just about done and dusted as that 54 able to roll into that throttle. But here comes that 29. Got a little bit of a boost right there from Blair Holloman. Going to get a run on him going down to turn 1. Where does he go? To the top, trying to get to that right rear quarter.
And Patet, that's another truck that's on 4 tires. He's trying to work through these guys too. And he's been a good truck tonight. He's running the top 6 before all the chaos. He's a really good truck. So watch out for the 96 tonight. He's not out of this. Same with the 2 truck. He's in play. Looking on the outside of the 96 is Holloman up the racetrack. Got a little tight. And the 2 truck kind of goes to the bottom to push the 96. Never mind. He's going to go to the inside of the 96.
With that 54 truck taking the lead, he's going to be setting sail here pretty shortly. That 2 is going to be wanting to get through some of these guys and get to Tyler Cheney's back bumper before he gets too much space.
It's just amazing that he's not pulling on these guys, Sean. I'm just so shocked about that.
That draft model seems to be pretty strong out here with these trucks at this track. And you know, like we've been saying all night, it almost looks like Talladega and Atlanta with how close these guys have been able to run.
I don't remember it being like that. There's a very slow Jared Hayes up here in that 69. He should just wrap the wall, and that's what he'll do. Hopefully everyone keeps it straight. But yeah, I don't remember it being so drafty like this, Sean. I mean, I don't remember Vegas and the truck being so drafty recently. So, I mean, definitely it's been a bit more draft-heavy racetrack for the truck, as kind of all the mile-and-a-halfs are, but not this much. where tires don't seem to pull anyone. It's Patet looking to the inside.
Yeah, Patet to the inside. Another factor in that is how good these setups are. I think everybody's setups are really good, and you know, they're just so close together on speed. As we see a little bit of a issue right there going down into the corner with the 29. He is fighting tooth and nail with these guys all around him on fresh tires, as here comes Daniel Dow to the bottom, trying to take away that third spot. Really close going down into the corner, but that too is just able to get back into the gas so much sooner. Going to be almost clear off the corner, not able to get it done. He's going to want to get it done soon now that those two fresh tires are up there in front of him, breaking away.
Look, he took the race lead. A Ford to the front. Patet took the lead from Tyler Cheney. Didn't even see that. Too worried about that. Oh, and Patet's almost sideways off of corner number 2. Keeps it
clip
straight.
That apron a little bit.
That's easy to do here because you want to wrap the paint. So much grip on the paint here in iRacing and in real life, but it's really grippy when there's paint on the track on the ovals. So you got to find it, and man, Daniel Dow cannot clear this 29. He clears himself on the 32, but the 32's having none of it. He's going to have to give in, though.
Hold that position, though, yeah.
Daniel Dow's
it's a frustrating moment right there. Yeah, it's a frustrating moment right there for the 2 truck, knowing that he has that tire advantage, trying to get around these guys without that advantage, and it's just frustrating when you have to maybe work a little harder than you think to do it. It's right there going into 3 and 4, just chose the wrong lane, got kind of stuck behind the 29. Gonna have to set him up here to get that job done.
32 back to the outside, maybe in a turn 1, not quite. Didn't have the draft off those trucks, so didn't quite get there, but yeah. No one's really, even the old tire guys are hanging here so far. Oh, the 96 a little loose. But here's Snyder's back on the charge.
Big
shove down the back
bumper, yeah.
Gotta take it. Wow, didn't take it. Cheney didn't take it. When you get those shoves, I feel like you just have to take them, Sean. Well, here he goes. Good corner. Good thing he didn't take it. Don't listen to me.
They just waited that extra corner, got back in the gas a little sooner coming off of turn 4. Able to get to the bottom of the 96, but that high line is so strong there on equal tires. And here comes Andy Pettit back to the top, and here comes that 2 truck, made that move back again underneath the 29, trying to get the job done in turns 3 and 4. Them being side by side in front of him will help him. That 29 goes all the way up against the wall to get that big run down the straightaway.
I'm seeing no truck other than him run that as efficiently as that 29 of Snyder. Looking to go back to back for Heath Snyder tonight. If he can do so, he'll go back to back. As they're going side by side for the lead. Cheney drifting up the track. Don't do what Mullins did a few laps ago to Hunter Hughes. Cheney keeps it off the 96 of Patet. We're all going to be orderly into turn 3. Still side by side, though.
Back to that Daytona-style racing right now. These guys are racing hard up front. And those older tires really don't seem to be playing as much of an effect that we thought it would this far into the run.
It's just so shocking to me. That's, I mean, really shocking to me, because really every tire model I really can remember, you can still pull away with 10 or so lap pressure tires eventually, and usually they hang with you in the truck, but usually you pull away, and we're getting to that point where you think they start pulling away. It is getting a bit more strung out, but like, I mean, there's only 2.5 seconds from 10th to 1st right now, so I mean, they're really not that spread out.
But what's helping them are those 2 leaders racing side by side every straightaway and not necessarily trying to pull away. And I also believe that draft model just showing how strong it is, that even with the little older tires, you're able to stick up with these guys. As that 54 got a little bit of the wall down the straightaway, though, he's going to be clear for the lead against that 96. And here comes Hunter on that old rubber trying to get around Andy.
Wow.
Andy really loose on the center. It's going to allow Hunter to get the job done and open the door for the 2 down the straightaway.
Yeah, Snyder back clear. This is just, I never really liked the drafty kind of racing at the 1.5 miles. Never really was my favorite thing. That's why I'm not a big fan, I think, of the truck 1.5 miles, but, or the ARCA car for that matter. But it's just really very, and like I think what you pointed out, those setups are just so good. They turn so good, and there's so already not very much off throttle time. These trucks don't have a lot of horsepower compared to the other top series of NASCAR. As we're coming up on a lap truck here. That's Alphin, yep, going down a lap. So this will break up the field a little bit with the lap truck.
Here comes that 29 to the outside of Cheney for the lead into turn 1 on the older tires. trying to prove us wrong yet again. He's going to be in the strong position coming down the straightaway here. Can't help but think maybe that 54 and 94,
yeah,
I'm sorry, 96 burnt their stuff up racing hard there for a while, as we saw the 29 just laying back and watching it, and same with that 2 truck. These guys might be in position off the corner. Some contact there between Blair Holloman and the lap truck throughout turns 3 and 4. Kind of expressed his displeasure over the driver radio. an almost crash right there between Blair Holloman running 5th and that lap truck.
I thought we were about to get a spin off of 2. Cheney got the 2 truck right on his bumper off corner exit. That was tight. But yeah, I think I was
loose into
that.
The corner.
Right as you were saying, I'm like, maybe these guys burnt their stuff up really bad getting to the front. And I think they have. I think Cheney and Patet really worked their stuff. I think Daniel Dow saved it a little better. Now, they're still going to be a little quicker with the fresh tire, but yeah, I think they just burnt their stuff up too much.
That 29 seems to be just a little quicker through the corners right now, and that 2 truck's just laying back there watching it all happen.
Yeah, not Snyder. Dow could have took 3 wide and poked middle or outside, and he's just kind of riding here. I think he is saving that tire a little bit. We're in that window to come down pit road for the final time, but it's that risk versus reward. Do you want to pit early here, or do you really think the pace isn't that much better, right? Like, are the lap times really that far off what their best are?
And Dakota Ramsell, running in the 7th spot, came down pit road this time by. He was on those older tires, but able to be within a second and a half of these leaders up front. So a lap or 2 early on the pit cycle might benefit him, as a lot of trucks coming down on pit road.
Jacob Barker, Robert Lewis on pit road. Colton Gardner, I saw him a few laps ago down pit road. Snyder looking to Snyder on the outside. Dow looking on the inside for P2. We're hitting the
29 just got a little tight right there through the center of the corner. Opened the door for Daniel Dow to the inside. That's what that 54 truck wanted to see, maybe get a little distance on these guys, but the 2 just not able to get it done on the bottom. That 29 flexes a little muscle right there coming off of turn 2.
Here comes that Chevy Silverado power down the back straightaway. He'll draw right to the rear bumper of that 54 Toyota Tundra. Kelly Blue Book car just is saying, man, I really wish we were a little bit more spread out for this final pit cycle. It's spread out a little bit more, but still, I mean, the fast trucks are right on top of each other.
How long do these guys wait to come down and make that pit stop? Do they go as far as they can, hoping for a yellow late in this race, or do they lose
in the wall,
time?
Snyder.
Yeah, Snyder just a little tapped into the wall, really didn't lose much. It has me thinking something like that happening to him might be putting him in a position where he wants to make that pit stop sooner than later.
And we've seen, like, if they have 5 or 6 lap older tires, it might not be a disadvantage, right? Like, I mean, Snyder's hung on, I mean, Blair Holloman's in 5th still in that Ram, so if these guys come down and they're gaining even 2 to 5 tenths a second a lap, right, on fresh tires, I mean, that's enough to pull me down pit road now. Because it seems like the long run, they equalize. I don't know if it's
especially
or what.
With the new tires, might not be running that much quicker than these guys are at the moment. You know, maybe 2 or 3 tenths a lap quicker at the most. With these guys, you know, almost full throttle as it is, even on the older tires. So it's a little bit of a what are they gaining now versus what are they going to be losing with the pit stop?
Yeah, it's an interesting call when you don't have a ton of tire wear, but you have enough. Whoa, it's Dow sideways. I think it is a little bit just don't overheat the tires too. I think that's another reason why we saw those guys on fresher tires kind of struggle for a portion there. They kind of overheated their tires getting through the traffic. But you're still seeing the top 3 guys who took tires. They're 1st, 3rd, and 4th. So it's still an advantage, but not as big as we thought it would be.
We have Blair Holloman from 5th place coming down on pit road, making his stop with 22 laps to go. He was on that older tire strategy, had less fuel than some of these guys that are up front. We know the 54 and the 2 can probably go for another 15 laps or so. That's going to really put the pressure on. When does that 29 car pit? Be interesting to see how many laps in the tank he still has left.
I'd pit sooner if I'm him. I mean, in the coming laps. Because I think you still want to get a few laps fresher tire. You know what I mean? Use those fresh tires now when you can. Don't come in like a lap or so early. Because obviously with 5 to 10 lap older tires, you're still just as good, if not maybe a little better than them. So, I mean, having 1 or 2 lap older tires, I mean, And if, you know, the time you're going to gain off the fresh tires, I think that's the right call for the 29. Coming a little before them, but that's really hard to judge.
Comes the 2, Daniel Dow down on the pit road. The 96, Adam Pettit, pitted a lap before. That's going to put the 29 and 54 in decision-making mode. Do they decide to come in within the next couple laps, or do they continue to stretch that run out?
And what no one wants to hear right now, if you're down pit road, is caution, right? That would end your race, really, because you're down a set, you're down a lap, you're going to have to take the wave around. As here comes Snyder for the lead. Wow, I mean, that's just insane. Old tires compared to fresher, and here he goes to pit road.
Yeah, went down, made a move for the lead, kind of threw a dummy right there at Tyler Cheney, maybe cost him a little bit of time coming through 3 and 4 just to only come down on pit road. Be interesting to see how much time the 29 loses to the 2 on that extra lap on track. And when does this 54 car bite the bullet and come down pit road? We got 3 trucks out there still that have not made their final stop. Actually, 4 trucks with James Mullins still out there driving around.
Yeah, so Mullins still
Here
out
comes
there.
the 54.
So, I mean, I think Pro's going to come down. Lilith Peters usually run, yep, she's going to run long, so she'll take the race lead in the 01 truck. She usually tends to run long. So she's probably going to go to the end of her fuel tank and hope if she catches a yellow, I mean, she's going to probably win the race because she's going to have everyone else using their last set of tires. Or actually, I think some guys might have a second set still if they are one of those guys who stayed out and didn't use it. But they're still going to be a lap down. Like, the whole field is lap down. She was close enough to the front where she has almost the entire field a lap down. So if a caution comes out now, this 01 truck is going to be sitting pretty, along with Noah Walters and James Mullins.
Yeah, tough pit stop for Daniel Dow, though. The 29 able to come off pit road about a second in front of him with that extra lap on track. And in front of these guys is going to be the 88, 96, the 32 of Blair Holloman, the 00 Son Block. Yeah. All these guys have made their pit stops earlier in this run, and now they are in front of the trucks that were the leaders before the cycle. I'd say that 32 might be sitting in the best spot. He came down, made his pit stop, and has 3 or 4 trucks in a good gap between him and the 29.
He's got to get by Colton Gartner, though, who pit before him in that fellow Ram. So he's not the leader of the strategy quite yet, but I do think you're right. He is probably the best spot here. Dakota Ramsdell there. He came down
Dakota's
pit road
way up the road. Yeah, Dakota's already came down pit road. And he is
he's
4.5 seconds. Yeah, he's 4.5 seconds ahead of that 40 truck. So 5-second gap between him and Blair Holloman, and more than that between him and the 29. And he pitted, I want to say, according to this, 10 laps before the 32, the 96, and most of our leaders. So a good little gain right there by the 03 of Ramsdell. Maybe another 2-tire call just to gain some extra time, as here comes your leader, Lilith Peters, down to make her final pit stop.
Yeah, I just don't think she had anything left in the tank. She had like 42, 43 laps, green flag right in there, so she stretched that thing as long as she could. Mullins now to the race lead in the 60 truck after getting the EOL. He's found his way to the race lead. Obviously, that truck was a little bit further behind, so you're going to see a lot more trucks on the lead lap when he's the race leader. Jacob Barker wanted to be the next one on lead lap because he does not want the caution to really end his race here.
One thing I noticed about Mullins is that he did not really tear his way up through the field from that restart. He was 12 seconds back when the pit stop cycle started, so maybe he has kind of thrown in that towel into that fuel strategy and trying to make it the rest of the way. It would be 53 laps to the end, and right now, running at his pace, he is might be trying to make it all the way to the end.
If not make it, maybe catch a lucky break with a yellow. It's been pretty yellow heavy tonight, so you might just get save, and maybe get lucky with a yellow. And then you come down, have fresh tires, and everyone, for the most part, use their sets up. So that's another way James Mullins could be taking it. But he is getting half a second or more taken out of the race lead right now by Dakota Ramsdell. I think, I don't know, he might not have enough time to run down that 60 truck.
Yeah, Dakota at this pace will not run him down at this time. But at the moment, that 60 truck out there running up subdued pace, trying to save as much gas as he can. I believe that is the strategy for the moment.
Whoa, cars around! Wreck happening. He's Snyder involved. Cheney, Noah Walters, and James Mullins gets the caution he needed. Noah Walters, another guy running long, involved. I saw Patek go sideways, kind of squeezed whoever was on his bottom lane. And good trucks, leading trucks that could have been for the win, involved in this one. And Snyder's not even
contact between Noah Walters right there. Noah, I believe, was coming off of pit road, or just came off of pit road. A little bit of contact there, and then more contact there as they stack up. 29 is going to be a victim of that. Some damage to the 50. Couple trucks beat up in that whole deal.
Did Noah come up? I think Noah came up in the 96.
Yeah, definitely Noah was really slow going down into the corner. I'm not sure if he was still trying to get up to speed from his pit stop. He was definitely on 2 tires or something, because he came out in front of all these guys that had pitted.
Well, James Mullins is back in this. He was, I mean, if this goes green, another few laps, he's probably going to have to come down pit road. But yeah, what a save by Patet, though. Wow. And Noah Walters, oh, that's actually a good kiss to the wall. Pretty good kiss. Heath Snyder with some damage. Last week's winner, that's a shame for Heath. Didn't do anything wrong.
We definitely had some interesting strategies playing out right there. I mean, if you're the 60 truck, I'd say come down, get some 4 fresh tires. But anybody beside him, I really don't know what to do.
Well, Lilith Peters is going to stay out here because she just made a pit stop. I think she's going to be one to watch. She's in 11th place. She'll probably stay out here because she probably has, 1 or 2 laps on her tires. So she's in a good spot here to probably just stay out if everyone pits. If you have sets left, well, James Mullins definitely going to pit.
It's not what the 03 wanted to see, but I imagine the 03 will be coming down, getting some fresh tires as well. He was in a good spot with the pit stop cycle. Tyler Cheney stays out. 03 down on pit road. The 00 stays out as well. Adam Pennant on pit road. The 40 at Colton Gartner. Most of the trucks in the top 10 coming down.
Yeah, that's an interesting call for Tyler Cheney. Even Lilith Peters, who I think she probably could have stayed out with her tires. She didn't have that many laps on them. She'll come down.
Daniel Dow stayed out as well.
Yeah, I think Daniel didn't have a great pit cycle, so he kind of has to here. And he probably doesn't have a set left. Remember, Sean?
Yeah,
they took a set last. Yeah, so these guys just might not have sets left. Sean Block
kind of makes that decision easy, huh?
Yeah, when you don't have a decision to make, you kind of just get given to it. Lily took right. She's grabbing her lefts. Oh, okay. Well, she will probably... Yeah, she's still going to come out in 5th. I don't mind that at all. That's actually a pretty decent call. Probably to stay on the lead lap if I had to assume to do that with the right side tires running so long.
James Mullins, he's going to be coming out, and he's going to be restarting 6th on 4 fresh tires with 9 laps to go.
Remember, though, Sean, that outside lane... It likes to stack. So if he doesn't get a good restart and Lilith Peters goes up the road, Ramsell, Holloman, it's going to be pandemonium to get through these 4 guys on older tires.
There's definitely going to be an interesting restart. We got trucks up there with 10-lap tires, got trucks up there with 15-lap tires, and then brand new tires. So it's going to be anybody's game coming off of turn 2. See if that 54 truck's fast enough to stay in front. James Mullins, Dakota Ramsdell, Blair Holloman. Another couple winners right there on that cycle. You know, Ramsdell was down on pit road getting damage fixed not long ago, was able to take a 2-tire call, kept his track position, and here he is up front with 4 freshies late in the race. Seems like the long run worked out for him there.
And if this was... Oh, another single file. That works even better for these guys, Sean. If this is a single file restart, pace truck lights are off, you see there. So we're going single file. That works even better for these guys, I think.
James Mullins is out there slamming his steering wheel because he wanted a double file. He's going to have to work a little harder now if he wants to get to that back bumper of those leaders.
A little harder, but it's also a little safer for him, right? So he doesn't have as big of a chance of maybe having a bad launch or something.
Look at that 54 truck. Look at the 54 truck on that nose right there. He's carrying a lot of damage. Must have gotten it from that last wreck. I think he was the one that got in the back of the 50 when the 50 got out of the gas. That's going to put the 00 in a big spot, and maybe even Daniel Dow, Kobe's pick for tonight, somebody to take advantage of it all. But that's going to play right into James Mullins' hands.
Who played their cards right tonight? Who has the royal flush? Tyler Cheney is hoping he does. We're going to go green with 9 laps to go. Cheney into the restart zone. Single file restart. Green flag. The damage doesn't hurt on that restart. Wow, he's gone.
Hurt going down to turn 1. That 00 has not restarted up front here tonight. So I imagine he might not be getting the best starts as going down to turn 1. He is really slow. Something's wrong with that 00. Daniel Dow taking over that second spot. And here comes Drew Prohl in that 80 car. Going to be following behind him into third.
Dakota Ramsell pushes Mullins clear of his teammate Lilith Peters. Peters trying to fight back on the high side. Mullins up into the 4th spot. Dow trying to split it 3 wide. Prohl on the bottom. He might take advantage of the Toyotas.
Here comes Mullins to the inside. 3 wide, 4 wide, going down to turn 1.
Look at Peters on the high side. 4 wide through 1 and 2. Peters, can she squeeze by? Big run off the exit. But here comes James Mullins to the race lead. Prohl's not going to have
9 laps to get it done, and he only got it done in 2.
Yeah, but Holloman, Dakota Ramsell are following him. Even Lilith Peters on the high side, they are not far behind, and we've seen how drafty this track has been tonight. He is not going to set sail. They're still 3 wide.
Last time around, 3 wide again, going down into turns 1 and 2. That 2 truck not getting the best restart there. Got some bad luck last time down the front straightaway. That's going to cost him with his older tires. He's just going to get eaten up now.
I think you're right with that Tyler Cheney car. That damage is hurting him, I think, more than we perceive the tires are. Ramsell over the runoff exit. He's not clear of Holloman, though. Prohl's hanging with the race leader more than these guys on freshies are. They're battling amongst themselves.
Prohl made a great move for the lead a couple laps ago when the 54 threw a block on the 2.
Oh, there's clear.
Prohl went to the inside. That only opened the door for Mullins, and here they are again, side by side, down in the corner here, 3 wide. This is going to be back for about 6th or 7th spot.
When all this is going on, they're battling up hard. P2, Blair Holloman. Contact, Gardner and Snyder. Peters trying to squeak by on this top lane. She's been stuck up there since the restart.
Holloman with a good run of speed here, got to the bottom, was able to clear that 80 truck up against the wall, and now he's going to have a shot at James Mullins. But when does he pull that trigger? When does he decide to take that run and get to the outside of the 60? That 60's been one of the best trucks all night since the green flag. But Blair Holloman trying to steal one here in Vegas.
Take it now. These two, 1 and 2 in the points, and there's a car around. Lilith Peters around. Caution is out. Caution is out. The 01 Lilith Peters turned around the racetrack and front straightaway. Trouble spot again. 4 laps to go. We are going in overtime.
Started right there between Lilith and the 24 of James Staples, running side by side down the front stretch in that same spot as we've seen many times tonight, Gage. Just contact with 2 trucks side by side. Looks like that 01 was using up a lot of racetrack, and so was the 24, not using the apron. Just a little bit of a race. It's about as 50-50 as you can get it.
Yeah.
As the 24 came up and the 01 came down and contact was made. 01's going to live for another day. Tires might be roasted, but no damage to that truck.
Yeah, I don't think she has any tires, though, so really the race is over because with spun-out tires, and especially worn tires are spun out, it's basically over, but I don't think Blair Holloman wanted to see that yellow. I don't think he did. Unless we start seeing, if we start 2x2, then yeah, he wants to see that yellow.
Yeah, especially with a green-white checkered coming up. That's going to be the yellow James Mullins wanted to see. It takes 2 laps to get these trucks up to speed and to really get that draft going. And that 60 truck's able to get a good restart. It's all but done and dusted.
Yeah, 1 and 2 in the point standings entering tonight. Obviously, Mullins grabbed the pole. Been a quiet night from Blair Holloman, but this is what he does. He just capitalizes, keeps his truck clean, and that's why he's, so high up in the standings. As Noah Walters, I think, is going to get the free pass. And he will do so, passing the race leader here in a second.
Great job tonight. Also out of Drew Prohl, was in an incident earlier, got an EOL for the incident, was all the way in the back of the pack, using some strategy to get up here at the front, and has really kept up with these leaders in front. If it is another single foul restart, that's going to be what that 80 truck wants to see.
I want to see double file here. We've had a lot of green flag running, so I think it's perfectly fine to see double file, but I understand if race control wants to see it single file. Maybe the precedent has been set, but I think I want to see double file restart here.
Well, this league also has 3 green-white checkers, so
yeah,
you get a wreck on that first lap, which is pretty likely on any green-white checker, no matter who the drivers are. We could have multiple restarts here ready to get teed up.
I'm saying if they don't do it the first time, then we rack them single file. How about that, Sean? I think that's a good deal.
I'd say that is a good deal, but who knows if they care what we say.
Yeah, I probably don't. You're probably right. But I think another guy we haven't mentioned, Jordan Sailors, has been involved, I think, in almost every wreck tonight, or right by it. He's in the top 5. The strategy's played in his cards. Man, this race is all over of great storylines and guys fighting back. I mean, James Mullins caused probably the biggest wreck off of 2 there, getting up into Hunter Hughes and caused pandemonium down the back straightaway, but he's got the right yellows, really what saved his day in that 60 truck. He's now leading. There's just so many good storylines. James Staples in the top 10. We haven't said his name at all tonight. Brian Alphen, remember him, Sean? He was lapped
in that first
like
yellow.
6. Yeah. Up to P9.
He also got lapped on the racetrack at one point as well. Not that long ago, after that halfway point, he had gotten lapped on the racetrack. And shout out to 29. He was sideways here with under 10 laps to go. And we got ourselves our wish come true. We got a double foul restart for the green-white checkered.
Maybe they do care what we say, Sean, but either way, we're going to get double file. And I really think if Drew Kroll does not get a good launch, that 32 and 03 are going to be hooked up off of 2. I do think Mullins will clear, most likely. But how big are the shoves from the 03? That's the question.
Yes, exactly. How big are the shoves through the restart zone, and how big is the run coming down the backstretch off of turn 2? That is going to be the one shot Blair Holloman has. He's going to be tucked up behind that 60 truck coming down the backstretch. How much momentum does he get coming off of turn 2 to where he can possibly make that pass down into turn 3?
And if that happens, Ramsell can't bail on him, right? He can't bail on the push off 2 if he's clear. He has to stay committed to pushing him, at least until they're side by side. Otherwise, I think Mullins is going to run away.
Yeah, most definitely. He has to commit to pushing him, and then he has to want the chaos in front of him. He's got to push that 32 up into the 60 and hope they get into each other.
Without a doubt, and here we go. Overtime at Las Vegas last year, or early in the season. It was green flag running. This time, Mullins going to have to do it on a restart. The top 2 in the championship standings. Green flag. Mullins will take the race lead. 2 laps to go. And a good launch, though, from that 32.
Yeah. Seen it time and time again through every restart. That bottom getting a pretty good jump, but the 32 of Blair Holloman also going to be tucked in behind him coming down that backstretch. Like we said, here is his shot, Gage.
Doesn't even need a push. He'll go to the outside himself. He'll get to the right rear quarter panel, entering turn 3. Now off of 4, can he stay there? What a corner from Blair Holloman. Off of 4, coming back to the white. Will make it in one attempt. Holloman at the line with the lead. What does Ramsell do here? Goes to the high side.
Doesn't decide to push the 32. He goes to the top, trying to make it 3 wide, but now he's going to have to push that 32 down the straightaway, or does he go to the bottom?
I have no idea what to do down the back straightaway. Final time. Everyone's jockeying for position. Snyder back there trying to get something going. Dakota Ramsell on the top. Snyder in 3rd, but it's these 2 up front. Holloman, Mullins, who gets to the checkered flag? Mullins on the inside. I don't know who won that race.
It's going to go to the 60. James Mullins.
Wow.
Going to be your winner tonight by a nose from the 32 of Blair Holloman. Could have been anybody's race right there coming to the line. He's going to get it done by 5 thousandths of a second.
Wow, what a finish there. James Mullins fripped him up a little bit off of exit. I think that might have done it. Slowed that 32's run just enough. Cut the apron, and it's just barely enough to get into victory lane. James Mullins, the 2P at Las Vegas. 6 wins on the year. And Blair Holloman obviously gutted with the P2. With what a restart from Blair Holloman. Heath Snyder, he talked about him being sideways. Well, he comes home P3. What a great job from the top 3 finishers. What a finish, Sean. Wow.
Yeah, they certainly picked a good race for me to come in and watch, because this was one hell of a show from the beginning. 3-4 wide for throughout the race. Looked like Atlanta out there, like we said multiple times tonight. James Mullins on the comeback. Scott an EOL, lap 50 with 50 laps to go. We said he had enough time to get it done, and he sure as did. Took advantage of that pit strategy and wins the battle on that final lap.
Won it by the biggest margins earlier in the season, and he won it by the closest of margins here tonight. We're going to go quick to a commercial break, and we'll get right back to finishing order and interviews with the top 3 drivers.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Need reliable electrical solutions you can count on? The UES group of companies has got you covered. From electrical installations and repairs through to all your compliance and tagging requirements, United Electrical and United Essential Solutions are here to help. Whether it's commercial electrical projects or home renovations, United Electrical can help make it happen. Need to secure your investment with an automatic gate? We can be there from the start of manufacturing right through to the final installation. We even offer excavation services to reduce the need to employ multiple trades. Need to get your electrical equipment tagged to meet compliance? Our United Essential Solutions team are here to help. Appliance tagging, emergency lighting, switchboard inspections, building compliance? Look no further than United Essential. UES Group is 100% Australian owned and operated. We pride ourselves on our customer service and commitment. Visit uests.com.au or call 1-300-122-598 to learn more. Or find us on Facebook and Instagram.
Hello and welcome, everyone. We're calmed down a little bit after an energetic and amazing photo finish tonight. And I mean, that even makes it even more if that's true. 0-0 apparently is the gap to Blair Holloman and James Mullins. Obviously, James Mullins gets it done. Blair Holloman P2. Heath Snyder comes home in 3rd on the podium. Great night for Heath Snyder after a win last week out. Dakota Ramsdell 4th. He was up front all night, even with the wreck he was involved in. Still comes home good. In the finishing order, Drew Prohl in 5th. Jordan Sailors comes home in 6th. Staples in 7th, even with contact with Peters late. Daniel Dow 8th. He had a better car than an 8th place car. Colton Gardner 9th. He qualified on the front row and came home with a top 10. So good night for him. And Jacob Barker in the top 10 tonight. Good run for Jacob Barker.
11th is going to be Brian Alphin on the comeback from his early incident. Robert Lewis, 12th. Jeremy Clapham Newell, also a good comeback out of that 7 truck, finishes 13th. Lilith Peters involved in a late caution with Tyler Cheney, 14th and 15th. Sean Block, 16th. Noah Walters, 17th. Art Nicotera, and 18th. Adam Pettit, 19th. And Tommy Lark, 20th. In your final 10 here, a lot of guys with some problems tonight. Andrew Nagy, 21st. Jared Hayes, 22nd. Garrett Streets, 24th. JP Jones, 26th. Tyler Rouse, my pick for the night, finishes 23rd. Hunter Hughes, 25th. David Salter, 27th. Garrett Johnston, 28th. Christian Strader, 29th. And Joseph DuPont, 30th.
And there is our finishing order for tonight's SSRL Appalachian Chillbilly Truck Series here at Las Vegas Speedway. Let's go ahead and get P3 tonight. Heath Snyder up into the booth. How are you doing, my man? You got a copy?
I got a copy. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing pretty good tonight, Heath. You went to Victory Lane last week as my pick. You weren't my pick this week. The man who won was. So I'm 2 for 2 on picks for the last 2 weeks. But I'm still holding high on you for winning the in-season tournament. So you did pretty good there, Heath. You did pretty good tonight. P3 tonight. Talk me through your night tonight. You looked like in the middle portion of the race, you might have had the best truck tonight. But from your perspective, how was tonight's race at Vegas?
To beginning was rough. We were averaging a caution every 10 laps, so that was getting a little frustrating because I think this truck was definitely pretty strong on the long run. As long as you could kind of save it and not stay in the throttle too much, it paid off. I was surprised I was able to keep up with the guys on new tires, and at some point I was even faster than them, so that was a little shocking. But if that wreck didn't happen, I think we had it again and would have been back to back, because I know Mullins was trying to save as much as he can and he was still short. So I think we would have had it if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, you were really fast in that middle portion. Me and John up here in the booth were just like, man, this guy's you probably had, I think, 10 lap older tires, and you were, like you said, you were quicker than them at some point. So we were like, wow. I mean, that's a really good truck, Heath. And yeah, it's a good week back to back. The good luck has starting to come around, maybe. I mean, you were involved in a crash tonight.
Don't think me.
You still were involved in something tonight, and you still battled back from it, Heath. You know, and I gotta jinx you though, Heath, because when I keep jinxing you, it starts getting good, right? I jinxed you last week at the end of our last interview. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I guess I'll take what I can get.
But you have to have some luck, Heath. You know, good or bad, it's luck is luck, right? But nonetheless, Heath, it was a really good run from you tonight, and obviously the late crash at the end. What did you see there at the end with Noah Walters and Batet that brought out that last yellow, and how did you get involved in that exactly from your perspective?
So I got involved in it because I got rear-ended. I got straight up ARCA braked by somebody who was almost a second behind me. There was no reason for that to happen. You know, it was pretty obvious that whole turn that they were wrecking, and I was lifting out of it, trying to stay off of them. And next thing I know, I'm getting rammed from behind. So yeah, that was pretty frustrating. Like I said, if that didn't happen, we would have stayed up front after that caution and probably still could have pulled off a win. But yeah, that was frustrating. Trying to avoid that and then just getting run over.
Yeah, the ARCA brake can be kind of frustrating, even with the guys running up front when they ARCA brake. But even with that, even with the spin, even with the big old bumper tag you had there at the end, you still come home in P3. A good points night, and there's a lot of momentum these last few weeks that you're building on here.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can keep it going. I think we go to Darlington next, if I remember correctly. So that's a track that I've ran fairly well on, as long as I can keep the truck clean. So hopefully we can pull another good finish out of it.
Without a doubt, my man. But before I let you go tonight and this Monday afternoon, sponsors, shout outs, and all that good stuff, before you don't celebrate too much for the P3 finish, but before I let you go.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give a shout out to you guys. You guys do an excellent broadcast, and I'm glad you're here for most of the season to show this product that we put on here. I know it's been rough at points, but I think the racing's gotten better as the seasons went on. It's cleaned up some, but yeah, definitely shout out to you guys. Shout out to Dave and the rest of the admin crew, and always got to give a shout out to the guys over at Grow Division for supporting me as well.
Well, man, thank you. We appreciate that. I think I just saw on the replay who ended up spinning out. That'd be Tyler Cheney.
Mm-hmm. I'm watching it right now too.
I just saw it as well, so I was like, that was like kind of funny. I'm just like laughing to myself. But yeah, I hope to see you up here come Darlington. The the Lady in Black, that track is really hard. But yeah, I thought that was so funny. Just you talking.
It worked out for him.
Getting dumb. It did work out for him.
It did somehow.
It did. Because he got a lot of front end damage, so I think it kind of killed his race from that. But Heath, I hope you have a great night. You see you, brother.
Thank you. Yep, you guys enjoy your night too.
Thank you. That's P3. Everyone, let's go ahead and get P2 in.
Blair Holloman, 32 truck tonight, second place. Got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on?
Not much, man. Great race tonight. Came away just barely short. Is there anything different you might have could have done on that final lap to get in front of that 60 at the line?
Not really. I'm not a fan of adoring people, so if I can't get around them the old school way, I ain't getting around them. So when we come out of turn 4, it's like, well, I'm staying where I'm at. I ain't going down there.
Well, run us through your race tonight. You definitely had a pretty quiet night that first half of the race, and used some strategy in the second half to get yourself up front.
Yeah, let me think here real quick. I know I dodged 2 of the bigger wrecks this evening. There's one that come off of turn 4 that technically they hit me, but it didn't cause any damage, so I was shocked. And there's another incident coming off 2 that I was lucky enough not to get involved with. All in all, it wasn't a bad race. It's just trying to save tire and just be methodical. These trucks are actually making better fuel mileage than I was originally thinking. So realistically, we had no cautions at all. Somebody probably could have one-stopped it, but yeah, we're getting close to that final pit stop, and we're passing lap down trucks, and I'm getting ran over by the one truck that doesn't want to stay a lap down. I'm running 5th or 6th position. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm getting doored, but I'm like, it's all good. We got tires on it, and we got back running. And I saw that caution there toward the end. I'm like, well, we still got another set of tires. Let's try to get some more spots if we can.
We came up just a little bit short tonight, 5/1000ths of a second, but definitely a good-looking truck out there. Any shout-outs or love you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, there's a couple quick shout-outs. Of course, my teammate Jordan. He had a good run this evening. Got involved in one wreck, but actually didn't get any damage. I was quite surprised. I saw the replay and thought he hit the wall, but I was mistaken. The truck looks a little different. We're running the Mopar paint truck for the evening. So the only sponsor really I can throw a shout out to is my cousin Tad's business, Holloman Auto Parts. I know my dad's watching. Hopefully he was entertained. I know he's not a big fan of when races turn into a caution fest, but hopefully the beginning and the end of the race is kind of entertaining for him. And of course, Sophia, she was watching this as well, so hopefully she was entertained. She kind of likes a little bit of chaos, but all in all, it looked good. Only time I got to see the broadcast is under caution, but from what I could see, it looked like a professional deal, so it looked good up there. But yeah, I can't complain. We got a good amount of points. Hopefully sooner than later, we can finally pass Tucker, who is graduated onto the road to pro. Hopefully we can finally pass him in points.
We still got plenty of time to get up there and do that. So congratulations on your second place run tonight, Blair Holloman in the 32. I'm going to send it back over with Gage. He's going to be with our winner, James Mullins, in that 60.
Sean, if you want to take this, my headset is like bugging right now. I'm sorry.
That's okay. James Mullins, you got a copy, buddy?
Got you, man.
Well, a tumultuous race for you tonight. Run us through your comeback there after that incident with about halfway in the race.
It was, I don't know, I felt like it was a pretty good race. I wish it went green. We had a little bit of green flag runs because I felt like that's where I was strongest. But like, other than that, I had a pretty good time. It was fun. I don't know who it was I wrecked, but I just got, I want to apologize, but like it just air pushed me up the track. I was completely out of it. I just couldn't get away from him. I just dumped him. Like I just feel terrible about it because he was having a good race.
Well, about halfway through, actually in the closing stages of the race, you were the last truck out there. Looked like you were possibly saving fuel. Did you want to go green? Did you have enough fuel to make it home?
Yeah, I was talking to the guys, Tommy and Heath. I was like, man, I'm just might as well try to make it. And I'm in the back. Like, I mean, I could probably try to charge up through there, but like I just want to try something different. So I was like, I'm just going to save fuel. So I was doing every trick I knew to save fuel. It was going to be really close. I had to save like 54 laps, and you can just go like 48. So I was probably about a half a lap short, maybe a lap, but we also had 12 more laps I could have saved.
Well, one last thing, that final lap took the win away by 0.005 of a second. Run us through that last lap.
Shoo, man, did you guys think Blair was going to make it stick like that? Because I sure didn't. I was just as surprised, I'd say, as everybody else, because on that restart, I got a hell of a restart. I knew I was going to be a sitting duck because the draft is crazy in these trucks, first however handful of laps. And he just had a little bit more balls than I did going to 3. He trusted his truck a lot more than me. I let off, he didn't. So I was like, well, I better not let off or he's going to beat me. So I charge it down in 1-2, got a good run up out. He got a good run on the outside, and I just threw it in there and held it wide open, got loose, because I'm a little loose starting out. So I got a little loose, come up the track, doored him a little bit, and then drove it through the grass and just barely got him. I got lucky.
Well, you definitely had some luck on your side tonight. A big win for you in that 60 truck. Any love or shout outs you want to give to celebrate your victory?
Oh yeah, I just want to thank everybody over at Certified Harpoon Race Club. Those are my boys. We've been working hard on setups. Like, we've been grinding for Road to Pro, and like, we've been having a lot of fun, been running really good. So, like everybody over there, and thank you guys for throwing this race on and broadcasting everything for us. You guys do an amazing job. I want to thank Heath and everybody I was racing with tonight, and Blair. He did a great job. I just come here to have fun, man. I don't care if I win. I just want to have a good time. Winning's just a bonus.
Well, a good time was had no matter what by both you down there and us up here. Congratulations, James A. Mullins in that 60 truck tonight, taking home the victory. Well, Gage, I think tonight had a little bit of everything. We had small wrecks, we had big wrecks, we had green flag stops, we had pit strategies play out, we had a great battle for the lead, and on top of all that, a photo finish.
Yeah, we really had everything you could ask tonight for a race here. And Vegas puts on a show. It was probably more exciting than the Cup race was Sunday, to be honest, because the Cup race was pretty formulaic. This was anything but formulaic tonight, as my headset decided to kill on me. This is a new headset, and I don't know how to work it, so I'm just stupid. But yeah, this race was awesome. I mean, the photo finish is just like that cherry on top to the great racing. There was a little bit of chaos at the start, but the boys cleaned it up, and they put on one heck of a show at the end there, Sean.
Yeah, most definitely was a good time up here. It was fun to watch.
It definitely was fun to watch, and I hope all of you at home had fun watching it like we up here in the booth did. All the drivers, I'm sure, well, the ones that didn't wreck, I'm sure they had a good amount of fun up here. Like and subscribe to the channel. It would help Kobe out a lot, because Kobe is really good at his job, what he does. He does a great job putting on these broadcasts behind the scenes. Shout out to all the league guys, all the guys who drive tonight. And I hope everyone tuning in and everyone who raced tonight. We got to watch Darlington, March 22nd. That's a great racetrack, the Lady in Black. It is a really fun track, a tricky track. So come in, view that next week out. But I hope everyone has a great rest of their evening. We'll all catch you later.